What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 45. My name is Brett, aka Enigma9011, and today I am joined by Mike, aka SnowBikeMike, another kind of funny best friend. Mike, thank you for joining the show today.
Anytime. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time coming.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about some stories, maybe the first time I met you. So it's been a long time, and I'm very excited to join you on the podcast. Frequent viewer / listener live on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. So excited to finally be on the co-host desk.
I appreciate it. Like Mike said, you can catch this live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011, like some people in the chat are right now, every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't watch it live, that's okay. You can go watch it the next week over on youtube.com, where it's broken out topic by topic or put as one big video for your amusement, and you can check it out over there. If you guys ever have a topic for us that you'd like us to discuss, you can always throw it in the comment section down below or put it in Discord. We do have a specific tab for that, so you can join us over there. And then last but not least, #ad. Remember, this podcast is brought to you guys by the merch store. You can see some of that sweet, sweet merch on somebody's chest right now. And no, it's not the Avalanche shirt. You can get your Enigma 911 swag over on the merch store right now. Rep the brand, support it. It would be greatly appreciated. So, Mike, how are you doing today? How was your weekend going?
I got to start really quick. Is that a #ad? You're just pumping your own stuff. Do you have to say ad?
Yes.
Do I need to say ad when I start saying
I don't know.
stuff?
Somebody's like, you better do that before you get in trouble. I'm like, okay.
No. That's your own stuff. You pimp your stuff. How am I doing? I am doing great, everybody. We're wrapping up the month of May. A couple weeks left, and it's still snowing out here in beautiful Lake Tahoe, California. So I'm fighting off the snow, staying warm with the two beautiful pugs of mine, and just kind of enjoying that transition into winter, I should say, spring, and then to summer. So I'm doing well.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to jump right into it. Mike's got a topic. I got a topic. We're going to start with mine. But before we do that, actually, Mike, is there anything that you would like to plug for yourself real quick? Or just like a brief synopsis for maybe people who don't know you to kind of get to know you a little bit better and what you do?
What is going on, everybody? I am SnowBikeMike. You can follow me on all my social media accounts at SnowBikeMike, where I'm on Twitter and on Instagram if you like cute pug photos and one good-looking dude just yelling crazy things that you bring in the hype. Why don't you go follow me there? And, of course, you can check me out on twitch.tv/SnowBikeMike, where I'm broadcasting live 5 nights a week with that spicy gameplay, play.
Nice. All right, so first topic. Mike, I would like to know a little bit more about something that you've talked about on a few other podcasts. Is shoutcasting. Now, I can't remember if it was putting in work with Jono or if it was Best Friends Talk Funny with Kyle where you brought it up. It was one of those two, I remember. But you mentioned shoutcasting and how you want to get into it more. And then also at TwitchCon this past year, we talked about it a little bit. So I kind of want to know a little bit more info about it. Like, what, I guess, inspired you? We'll start with that. What inspired you or interested you in getting into shoutcasting yourself?
I think it would first start off with my poor gameplay skills. I kind of realized as I watched pro players from Halo, Rocket League, Gears of War, NBA 2K, I said to myself, man, Mike, you're really not that good. So becoming a professional esports player is probably out of the cards, even though I love to wear dope esports jerseys. Can you just imagine a nice ice blue jersey on me, Captain C on the chest, and me just screaming at like 5 guys or gals hoping that we'd win an esports match? I know it's a dream. But I came to the realization that it probably wasn't good enough, and I did really enjoy the production value of many esports that I'm sure we all have seen before, from League of Legends when they have their World Cup, Halo and the Halo Championship Series, Rocket League, Gears of War, all of those big-time esports leagues, and then, of course, Overwatch, to see their talent. All of those guys and gals that they bring on, from esports commentators, analysis, they have a sideline host. All of those guys and gals are so talented, and I love watching each and every one of them. I love them, how they bring the hype, how they bring in-depth analysis that you might not see if you weren't really in tune with the video game. And I kind of fell in love with that. And as I came to the realization that I'm probably not good enough at the game, but I still love esports as a culture, I said, man, maybe I could do well there, because I love talking and I love watching esports. So maybe I can blend those two passions together.
Cool. Now, are there any specific, I guess, inspirations for commentators, whether it's sports, because I know you're a big sports fan, basketball and hockey and so on, or obviously the esports realm, I guess, itself. I don't know too many by name, so I mean, I know Golden Boy with his Fortnite and Overwatch, and then I know, what's his name? Puckett, Chris Puckett, I think his name is.
Yep. Okay,
Which,
good, nice job. Yeah.
Ironically, I sat right next to at TwitchCon during the Fortnite tournament, and I had no idea who he was. And then seeing him on Overwatch League, I'm like, oh, that guy. So I don't know a few of them by names, but is there anybody in particular maybe you like their style or you're just a big fan of?
I really love Golden Boy. I think Golden Boy can really do a lot of incredible things. I think his, value to a broadcast really leads that to something great. He can do all things. He's so multifaceted, whether it be on the hosting desk, welcoming you to the broadcast, whether it be with the analysis team, where he's breaking down certain plays, breaking down player ideas there. And then, of course, with the shoutcasting, I think he brings the hype. He really does well with the call-outs. He works well in a duo or tandem if they have three on the desk. And I really like watching Golden Boy. Another big one for me that got me into NBA 2K shoutcasting is a guy named Dirk. Now, Dirk, he is a Call of Duty shoutcaster that turned into the NBA 2K League lead shoutcaster. So Dirk is really a good guy to watch. I love kind of role modeling myself after him. I liked how he brought the hype in Call of Duty. I like how when he's here on the desk for the NBA 2K League, it's him and Scott Cole. Scott Cole does a lot of Madden tournaments, also does Forza tournaments. So he's kind of the play-by-play guy, as Dirk becomes more of the, hey, I'm going to give you the in-depth. I'm going to tell you about what you're seeing on the court because I know so much about the game. So I love how he can do two different roles. He can be multifaceted and versatile. Really two big names for me. And then, of course, growing up watching NBA basketball, I know a lot of those commentators' names, a lot of people I love trying to base myself off of course, Dickie V, calling all of those college basketball games that are so iconic. And that's a lot of the names that I like to think about.
Okay. Now, since this has been a goal of yours, you're working towards it, obviously, with the stream, and then obviously now you are starting to do your SnowBikeMike tournaments, which... How many of those have you had so far?
We have now hosted 17 SnowBikeMike tournaments.
God damn. And those are always a blast. I've had the pleasure of competing in two of those. One was Apex, one was Dragon Ball Fighters. I missed the Overwatch one, damn it. But those have always been a blast. How do you feel like the experience from that has been? Like just jumping headfirst and diving into those?
Those experiences are invaluable. I mean, you cannot replicate those anywhere. You have to do it. And, you and I attended TwitchCon 2018. There was a couple other moments in my life where you guys know there was a couple of things when you talk to these people that are achieving their dreams and doing the things you want, they look at you and they tell you one thing. You just have to go out there and do it. So luckily we were down at TwitchCon 2018. I was able to attend the esports broadcasting panel where they had multiple esports hosts. They had different hosting people from PAX East, PAX West, and different variations of hosts, and they had a talent agency there as well. Wow. So it was really cool to see them talking about how they came to fame, how they got their stardom going, and really it came down to one message of, if you want to do this, you need to do it right now. You out there at the Fortnite tent, and I said, you know what, I really want this, I'm going to start to do it. And we kind of broke down, what does that picture look like? How do we do this? How do you figure that out? And so we went to two schools of thoughts. Of course, one, you're not just going to be seen as an esports commentator without some sort of demo reel, without some sort of experience, without some sort of background. Right. So that meant we had to either go find somebody who hosted tournaments or we would go put them on ourselves. Luckily for me, I had a little bit more of a background since NBA 2K17. I've been shoutcasting Pro-Am tournaments. Okay. So that is 5-on-5 esports competitive style 2K basketball. And so I've been really lucky to work with community-led tournaments and organizations that have really put me on a spotlight in that NBA 2K community where people know me. They understand the brand of play-by-play shoutcasting that I'm going to bring to that broadcast. And, man, the experience that I've gotten with those guys is invaluable because a lot of people don't know there's two different ways you can shoutcast. One, I've learned from the Overwatch League and a small community group from there is they actually have a production team that does all the streaming, does all the production for you, and you would stream over their stream, so you would just be shoutcasting.
Oh, okay.
In my shoes, I actually have to do all the production. That means I set up the stream, I set up the graphics, I run the broadcast while trying to do the play-by-play at the same time. And that is a lot going on, a lot in the background to try to stay focused on the event, plus making sure it looks good. So that experience was invaluable to me. And so when I talked to you guys, I already had that experience of NBA 2K, and we just kind of talked about it, like, okay, what games are you into? What do you really want to do? How are you going to gain this experience? And from there, we just decided to put on the SnowBikeMike Sunday Tournament Series where, you know what? I let the community pick the game from Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Overwatch. We're going to play Mortal Kombat 11 soon, Gears of War, Halo 5 we did. And we just kind of let me shoutcast that with a couple of friends, and the community plays. They give me the platform. I put it on, and we have a great time. So the experience has been invaluable over the 20 weeks we've been doing it from different tournaments and games. I mean, it's incredible to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good seeing... or it's been cool seeing your progression with that, because I didn't know about the 2K stuff. I knew you're always a fan, but I didn't know you were involved in that already. I thought that was something you were trying to get more involved in. But it's been really cool to see your progression from right after TwitchCon to now, and seeing, like I said, the growth in that. And it's also cool seeing, Kevin get involved, and there's one other person I'm forgetting.
Tagato,
Thank you, Tagato, yeah. But like having that little small team of you guys doing that's been awesome to see how it works, and it's really worked well, and I'm happy for you guys and pushing forward with that.
Oh, thank you so much. And really quick to cut you off, we do have to say a big thank you to Kevin and Tagato. Now, Kevin and Tagato are just fellow kind of funny best friends. They're fellow best friends of mine where we play video games together. They in no way, shape, or form want to become esports commentators. They in no way, shape, or form want to do this on a nightly basis, but they give me their time. They give me the encouragement. They support me through thick and thin to do this. It could be a Friday, and like most people, maybe they want to go out on a Friday. They want to play the latest game, and I beg them, I plead them, hey, come do this Apex tournament with me. I need somebody else to carry this load because I can't do it alone. And they both just grin and they say, yes, Mike, we'll help you. And those guys, I mean, here we are so many weeks after the fact. Tagato has done NBA 2K shoutcasting with me on different organizations. Kevin and Tay have played multiple games, helped me organize so many streams in different tournaments that those guys, they deserve all the credit. They helped me do this and achieve my dream that I want so bad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Mike, you've done 17 weeks of this so far. What would you say out of those 17 weeks would be maybe your favorite game to shoutcast?
Ooh, okay. So, we've played a lot of games, and I do want you guys to preface, the 17 weeks have been multiple different games. We also started adding Apex. NBA is kind of on its own path. But out of those 17 weeks from the community voted games, I think probably my favorite game so far has been Smash Bros. We've probably done 6 to 8 Smash Bros events, and I really like I like to see the community come together, to see the growth from the community. Week number 1, there's 4 kids who were incredible. Week number 2, there's 8 kids that are incredible now. Week number 3, those 8 kids now are bad, and the next 4 kids are really good. So I really like how Smash Bros can be different every single time we play. I like learning all the Smash Bros characters, not being a big Nintendo guy or Smash Bros guy myself. It's really cool to, learn all the characters' names, learn their movesets with Tagato and Kevin, kind of get more of that Smash Bros lingo down, instead of just saying, oh, that was a big smash or this and that. I actually know the button presses now. I know the different terminology. So that's really fun. I love Smash Bros. I think Halo and Battle Royales are more up my genre because I like the fast-paced tempo. I do like the team deathmatch scenario. I like the uniqueness and variety that you get out of Battle Royales. I can definitely, pump up the beginning of the match. I can make it through the mid-match when we kind of have that slow period of everybody looting, trying to figure out their next positioning. And then, of course, at the end of the match, I can really turn it on and get you to tune into that broadcast and not look away.
Yeah. Little jab, but I like how you mentioned with Smash Bros, like getting to know the terminology. 2 things. Dragon Ball Fighter stream, even with you not Just going in, just being you, I think that was one of the most entertaining things. Just the amount of names you came up with those those characters. I still remember Kombucha. That was great. And the Three-Eyed Raven and so on. But that was just another little, I guess, piece of flair that you kind of added in that just made it a little bit extra and special. And
I appreciate that.
And then for Overwatch, you guys did that. I was able to go back and watch it, I think. Or maybe I watched it live. I don't know. I watched it. But I liked how you brought someone else in. You brought Cameron in to kind of help you out and assist with that, because obviously he's really big into Overwatch and he kind of knew more about that. But I appreciate how okay, maybe this isn't my strongest area. How can I improve on it? Let's get somebody who does know it, and then, you can pick up and learn from it. So it's nice that you're really you're studying the game. You're really trying to figure out like what's going on, who's doing what, how's this work, things like that. I stopped correcting him on names just because it was too funny. Exactly, Kevin. Exactly. It was just too good.
I appreciate that. And, that's also a really cool one of me in my background of NBA 2K shoutcasting, right? I've played the game. I know all the NBA names. I know what's happening because I've played so much basketball in my real life. So when I came into that, it was really cool to see the community. They're typing in the chat. Some people would say, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. And so when we did the SnowBikeMike Sunday tournament series, it was really awesome to see people like Keylock, Suburbanite Slob, Cameron, the unsexist comedian, kind of raised their hand like, hey, I would like to join you on the desk. How can I do this? And to have Cameron come in, who knew so much about Overwatch, it was really great, because when you look at esports shoutcasting, a lot of these members on the talent pool have to really know the game, the ins and outs of all of this. A lot of people can get through it. Sometimes your sideline reporter might be a little bit different because they're doing player interviews. Your host at the desk might just be doing the intros. But those guys that are doing the play-by-play to the analysis at the desk, pregame and postgame, those guys really know the game inside and out. And that was one thing when I brought up Dirk before. Dirk knows NBA 2K. He plays NBA 2K on the daily. So he really knows what's happening with the animations and the different player sets. And so to have Cameron come in for Overwatch and really listen and observe that, and then to have Keylock come in on multiple fighting games, it's like, man, like, there's a huge subgenre out there that I don't know about. And if I wanted to do this as a profession, I would need to be just as good as Cameron and then still be able to bring the hype.
All right. So I guess final question on this topic for myself. So we talked about your favorite game that you've already done. What is a game that maybe you're looking forward to or like to shoutcast? Whether it's a new one, old one, whatever it is. What is something that maybe you would want to test yourself with, I guess?
Gears of War 5 and Halo Infinite. So as I look towards the future, I think really right now at this exact moment, I would like to really focus on Battle Royale, the genre, whether it be Fortnite, Call of Duty Blackout Mode, or Apex Legends. I really enjoy doing those. We're trying to figure out how you get involved in that community, kind of bring more of an audience to see what I'm doing and producing with my team over here. But I think when I look towards the future, I really like the fast-paced shooter genre. So I think of Halo and seeing so many Halo tournaments and how intense that gets. What's the talent team doing and how they bring the energy for all those different setups? I mean, when you think of the Overwatch team and how exciting that gets, or when we just watched the Call of Duty World Championships and they were bringing the enthusiasm for 100 Thieves, man, those are the type of games that I want to be involved with. I don't know if I could ever do a Stardew Valley championship stream, unfortunately, because I just don't know if it can do it. But I would look for more fast-paced, action-oriented games is what I would be looking for.
Cool. Okay. So I thought of another question. Where would you recommend, maybe somebody else is in your shoes, they want to get into shoutcasting. What are some big tournaments that you would recommend? For example, I know like as a fighting game community member, EVO is the big one you need to watch. If you want to get hyped about fighting games and watch a variety of fighting games, that's the one you need to dive into. I mean, there's a lot of other ones like Combo Breaker and other ones that are popping up everywhere around. Red Bull Conquest, I believe, is another one. What are some that you would recommend, I guess, people check out to maybe pick up on a thing or two?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to maybe see what the talent is like and see how you can model your shoutcasting after certain people, I would look for some of the biggest events. Of course, the Call of Duty World Series, you got to check that out. The League of Legends World Championships. I just watched the midseason invitational out in Taiwan or Bangkok. Last night it was 12:45 a.m. in the morning. I was supposed to work at 6, but I was still watching that because I really wanted to see what was happening and try to, grow with those commentators. But I would say find out what game you're really interested, whether it be Gears of War, Halo, Counter-Strike, NBA 2K, and find out when their broadcast schedule is. I can tell you the NBA 2K League streams weekly, Wednesday through Friday on twitch.tv/NBA 2K League, and I tune in every single time for that. It's a 4-hour experience. They have 4 to 6 games a night. I just sit there and watch, and consume as much as I can. So if you're interested in shoutcasting, or you just like esports in general, download the ESPN app. Does a really good job. Find your favorite game, follow them on social media, and you'll find out when the big tournaments are.
Awesome. All right. So I think that wraps up topic number 1 of shoutcasting. So Mike, it is now your turn. What is your topic for today?
It is my turn, and I want to take us down a road. I want to take you on a path right now. World of Warcraft Classic, the release date just got announced, and oh boy, am I feeling nostalgic. I want to take us back to 2004. I want to take us back to the mid-90s. I want to take us back. So what I'm feeling is I want to know one experience, one video game, one movie, one TV show, anything in your life. If you had the chance to go back and experience it once again, whether it be fresh and brand new, or if you could experience it with the knowledge you know now to be able to change something or be able to look at it with a different lens, what might be that experience, or maybe TV show, movie, or video game?
Oh, God.
And now, mind you can have multiple because I got a couple. I got a couple I can fire off the hip.
Yeah, here. Give me an example of what you're thinking there, Mike, and I'll...
Okay, so what I'm thinking, of course, is I would like to go back to the days with GoldenEye on the N64 and thinking about the fun we had, all of the screaming and yelling, the N64 controllers banging off walls, being thrown by young children. Some of those moments were too much fun, and bringing the N64 over to my friends' houses for sleepovers, etc., and plugging in James Bond GoldenEye, man, those were some special moments. To see kids you knew in your elementary school and middle school who kind of had beat the game or knew the cheats, and you would watch them play single player and say, what is happening? How did he do all that? I don't think I ever beat James Bond GoldenEye in my entire life, level to level, all the way to the end. I have seen people beat James Bond GoldenEye first person right up next to each other probably 10 times. So I think back to that. I think back, a big one for me would be Halo 2 multiplayer. If I could go back to 2003 and be at AJ Tesorero's house, where I could paint you the picture right now, his brother's room and his room were both wall to wall. His brother was 4 years older than us. All of his friends would gather in that room. They were all 16 to 18 years old. We were 12 years old, still in middle school. And we would somehow all meet up in a big party lobby, 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and people would be screaming, yelling. You would see your rank go up and down. If I could relive those moments, I would give up anything to do that because it was just so much fun.
That's awesome. I think I'm going to piggyback on the Halo. Halo 2, I didn't own, but I always played at friends' houses, and then I finally saved up enough money for original Xbox, but this was after 360 was already out and it was going back to Halo 2. But there was a couple fun nights where, sleepovers and friends were hanging out, and we would always Coagulation. That was the map we did. Just go in that one. But yeah, Halo 3, obviously that one was a little bit more in the moment with that. And I'd always pile on with a bunch of friends online. And especially with Halo 3 adding the custom maps, everybody was making their own stupid let's race the mongooses around, do this thing and that, but that was always chaotic. Sticking on Halo, I guess you said a moment going back where you could relive with the knowledge you currently have. Okay, this is kind of a mix of a relive and the experience I had. So Extra Life, we do it every year, charity event, 24 hours. I've made it an event around like Thanksgiving time because a lot of my friends, they're home from school, they're, visiting family, stuff like that. And I just invite everybody over the day after Thanksgiving, have a bunch of friends over for the first 12 hours. I'm like, okay, first 12 hours with friends, this will be easy. And then the second 12 hours, I'll drudge out and we'll see how it goes. But we always start with Halo 3. And we do a big LAN party. I get 3 to 4 Xboxes with TVs. We set it up. And oh boy, the chaos that ensues is amazing. So just reliving that experience. I mean, I get to do it every year so far since I've started doing it, but just reliving, going back to the first one and experiencing it, and obviously the others. But then knowledge base, obviously from a content perspective, like just seeing like, okay, how can I present this in a better fashion? Like, I think each year's been progressively getting better. There's still years where there's, kinks and problems and bugs and here's this and that. But I think going back to year one and being like, with the knowledge I have now, obviously, how could I present this better and make it a better product? So I think that's one for me. God, I'm trying to think of a movie. Okay, this one might irk people a little bit. I know people in Star Wars is like a 50-50 train. You like the prequels, you don't like the prequels. I'm one of the people who is fine with the prequels. Fine. Keyword there. Fine. So don't jump down my throat, chat. But that was my Star Wars. Like, I watched 4, 5, 6. They're all on VHS. Yeah, that was a thing. Watched those. But, like, when episode 1 came out, like, that was all my chance to really experience it head on, full out. So Phantom Menace, I personally hold closely. Yes, there's some problems with it. Don't get me wrong. But I think reliving the end battle scene with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, I think that would be just awesome. Just experiencing that for the first time again. Music and everything going, and the moment of the door, and then the double lightsaber reveal, and just, I think that would be great.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'm a big prequels fan because that's what we grew up on. So don't worry, I'm all for them. Another one for me, when I look back and I think about World of Warcraft first being released, that was really when the internet started to blossom and kind of become a thing. And I will never forget, the only computer in my house was my mom's computer up in her work studio, which was on the 3rd floor of our house. We had this giant house back home in Boulder, Colorado, and we would have to run the Ethernet cord all the way from her studio down to the 1st floor by the kitchen. We'd have to plug it in. The phone would never ring. Grandma would call nonstop, weeks on end, wondering if the house had exploded because me and my little brother were addicted to World of Warcraft and Diablo 2 online, along with Warcraft 3. And man, I will never forget the days of sitting there, me and my brother switching off, me and my brother yelling at each other, my parents taking the cord, we're screaming at them, give us back the cord. They're like, we need to make a phone call. And how much fun those times were, from Diablo 2 and then Lord of Destruction, where you would see players just so buffed up and you had no idea. And they're like, oh, we're hacking the game. And then me and my brother figured out how to hack the game. And we're making dumb stuff. That was awesome. World of Warcraft, trying to grind, and my brother was always so much better than me. I would play solo. I would get to dead mines, and that was the furthest I ever got in World of Warcraft by myself. Jackson would be raiding with 40 people. He'd tell me, get away from me, nerd, and I would never get to play again. And it was just so much fun. So I'd go back to that time again. And my final one that I do want to talk about, if I could go back, it would be in the summertime. It would be during the Kinda Funny Live 3 VIP party. I met a boy there. Okay, he was a great guy. He was there. Everybody was having fun, cheersing. They had these cool game stations out that I'd never seen. And there was this guy with this dope t-shirt on. Okay, he had this really cool logo. And I said to myself, man, that's like one of the coolest logos I've ever seen. It reminds me of the Riddler from Batman. And I said, man, I got to go up there and talk to him. Now, being a shy guy, being in a room full of maybe nerds and, kind of kids that don't want to talk to each other, I said, I got to try. I got to get up there and try a little bit. So I walked up. I said, hey, my name's Mike. What are you playing? Can I sit down and play with you? He looked at me. What did he say? He said, hey, I'm Brett. I'm Enigma 9011. You want to play with me? I said, yes, I want to play with you. What do you play? And he said Injustice 2. In the back of my mind, it said, dang, I hate this game because I'm so bad at it. And we proceeded to clash about 3 matches, me being as the Blue Beetle, him playing as every character known to man, and just ripping my heart out like it was Mortal Kombat. And we created a friendship that would last for a lifetime. And, man, if I could redo that again, I would bring my own fight stick. I would throw down the gauntlet and say, hey, I'm about to beat you in this video game, and bring everybody around us so they could see how great he was at these fighting games.
Uh-huh. Okay, I think, first off, that's the most accurate you've ever told that story. I like how every time in your stream, I'm shit-talking you. Yeah, that was awesome, and there was a moment I'll never exchange for anything. I remember when you left, and you said, oh, I'm SnowBikeMike. It clicked in my head, because I heard your name in the podcast. I'm like, oh, shit! But I appreciate you doing that. I mean, not that I'm super over it now, but yeah, I was just by myself and stuff like that. I'm still getting over that and talking with more people and the best friends. And it's easy once you do it. It's not easy doing it. But yeah, that was just it's a great moment. And you said you'd relive it and throw down. I do want to point out, kind of funny prom, we did have a standing rematch that someone avoided, so
I definitely avoided that. I have a lot of my
I know you were busy hosting.
I was
the
like,
show.
I'm scared out of my mind. Could I have done it? Of course I could have, but did I choose not to? Yes, I smartly got away from that. But yeah, it's always funny to see the progression, kind of moving away from nostalgia, but talking about the Kind of Funny lives and the VIP after parties and how much that's changed for me. I remember going to Kind of Funny Live 2 with my girlfriend at the time, and us just kind of, clicking together, staying together at the hip and not really separating, and going to meet all of the kids there and trying to talk with them and engage with the community, to Kind of Funny Live 3, now being separated, being with 2 friends down there, and kind of going a little bit out there, introducing myself, talking to people, meeting you at the VIP meetup, to then when we went to prom. It was just so much fun to really engage with the whole community, make so many more best friends, and meet them all, party with them. And gosh, it was so incredible to see the progression that we've been on through all of those different events.
Oh yeah, it's been great. And yeah, I was at Kind of Funny Live 2 as well, and that was impulse, because I was living by myself at the time in Southern California, and I was like, oh, I'll drive up, whatever. So doing that, and then trying to break down that wall. And there's a few people I chatted with and had a good time with. Tom Hawkins is a big one. I made a post, I think it was after prom actually, about like how I've always had kind of an ambassador each time I've gone. Tom Hawkins was the first one. Then Kind of Funny Life 3, it was Super Killer Bunny. Then prom, it was SnowBikeMike, who was constantly looking out for me. I always had somebody who was kind of always checking in and be like, hey, how you doing? No. And like checking in. And it's once you break through that barrier of, we're all best friends, talk, make connections, it's definitely worth it. Like, obviously, Mike and I meeting at 3, obviously that's been a friendship that's gone long and hopefully continues going on and will. But then there's a lot of other connections that we've made, whether it's people in our chat for streams or people we've had on our own podcasts, or, you and Fixer doing your own thing with Xbox and me. And just there's so many connections that you can make. Like I said, it's not easy to do, but once you do it, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, that's definitely a good moment to think about. I don't know. Anything else that I would relive or anything? No, nothing's popping in my mind, really. Mike, you got anything else, really, that you can think of?
Only one more that I would relive, because it's my glory days.
Yep.
When I turned 26, I took my lovely girlfriend at the time and my little brother down to Orlando, Florida, to go visit Disney World, and of course my favorite place on the planet, Universal Studios. If you guys have not been down there, or the LA version, they have Fear Factor Live there. Now, Fear Factor Live is an awesome competition that I love so much. They allow 8 guests to come on down and participate in what is called Fear Factor Live. It's 3 different fun events. The first one is usually you do something. The second one, you got to eat something scary. And then the third one, you got to go out there and beat a person in a head-to-head challenge. I was with my little brother at the time who had been pounding Long Island iced teas, just wasted at the moment. And man, we had so much fun competing against 2 gigantic meatheads from Alabama. We beat those 2 in the first round. Since there was only 4 of us, we went on to the head-to-head, and it was my birthday that day. And I'll never forget getting to see my little brother across the stage, seeing my girlfriend in the crowd out there with everybody cheering, and thinking, I'm about to do Fear Factor Live against my little brother on my birthday. There's no way I'm going to let him beat me. And for some reason, I slipped right off the start. He was running much faster than me. Thankfully, like any big brother would do, I tripped him. And then I proceeded to take the lead and win. So if I could redo it again, I wouldn't slip, and I probably wouldn't trip him to see if it was better head-to-head.
Fair enough. Kevin asks, is this the same girlfriend that stole your favorite sweater?
No, that's a different one. That's a different. She owes me a dope sweater. That's a dope sweater, Kevin.
All right, I got one more that I thought of as well. TwitchCon 2018. Obviously, the whole event experience I wish I could redo. There's something I would change. For those of you guys in the fighting game community, there's a meet and greet going on for one Maximilian dude in Yo Video Games. I thought, hey, let's leave an hour early and get in line.
Oh,
solid. It was fine. The guy running security. Okay. Stand in this line. Okay, I can do that. And then we wait. And we wait. And we wait. Hour passes. More security came because there was a shit ton of people in that small area. This isn't a line. What are you waiting for? We wasted an hour standing in a line we were told to stand in and never met Max or Yo Video Games. So I would change that.
Man.
Yeah, that sucked. We were not happy campers about that.
Kevin A6 in the chat sounds this sounds like TwitchCon the first day when we had to stand in the line for 5 hours.
Oh yeah, you guys
never forget that one. Time. Never forget that one. I would say if I could go back to TwitchCon 2018 and redo something, I would put you back up on that Fortnite stage, and I'd be yelling in your ear to win, so you can go on to the next stage and not lose. Yeah, but you did well.
That was one I was going to bring up too. If I could go back with the knowledge I have now, not that it's much better gameplay, but just a little bit more. Not die immediately, hopefully drop where I want to drop, but just even re-experiencing that, like the whole tournament aspect, like hearing everybody on the audience on the other side, that was nuts, and just that was quite a lucky experience to
how cool.
TwitchCon was 10 out of 10 organized. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully this year in San Diego is better. Won't be able to make it this year, but hopefully it's better. Let's see. I'm sorry, Goro. Billy is awesome. All right, we're going to the third topic. So, if this is your first experience with the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, when we have a guest on for the first time, it's a one-on-one podcast with them. I like to take them through the lightning round of questions so you kind of get to know them a little bit more. So, Mike, how this is going to work, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, just gut reaction, whatever the answer is, go for it. Anything that you want to explain, you can elaborate however much you want, or you can just stick with the answer. That's all good. All right, you ready to go?
Do it. I'm ready.
Oh, chat.
I'm ready. Also, fire from the hip.
Chat, also get your questions ready, because Mike said he wants questions from you. So once these are all done, we'll answer some questions for you guys real quick. All right, Mike, first one. Favorite color?
Blue.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Figured I'd do
Hug dogs, always.
What's your favorite game?
Halo 2.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Marlon or the Wayans Brothers collection right there.
Okay. Favorite type of music?
Top 40 pop.
Solid. Favorite song?
If You Want to Be My Lover by the Spice Girls.
Nice. What was your dream job when you were a kid?
Dream job when I was a kid. Pro NBA basketball player. Quickly realized that I was 5'10", small white boy, and that I had no chance at that.
Was there a team that you were aiming for specifically?
Yeah, of course. I'd play for the Denver Nuggets, my hometown team. Everybody would cheer for me in the Pepsi Center. I would dunk on top of Shaq and Kobe. People would buy posters of me. I'd sign them. I'd fly jets all around the world. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, oh, that might not be happening.
If you could have any animal to be a pet, what would it be?
A giant hawk.
Nice. If you could meet one celebrity, who would it be? Does not matter scale of celebrity here.
Me and LeBron James.
Okay, nice. Halfway there. You got that cardboard cut out.
I'm crushing. Yeah. Hey, LeBron. Hey.
Favorite season?
Spring.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Okay.
Cute girls.
There you go. Okay, almost done. What is a skill you wish you could have?
Better editing and photoshopping skill, aka Adobe Premiere Suites.
Okay. All right, and then last question, Mike. What is a game that you want me to play?
Gauntlet Legends on the N64.
Legends.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, Conkers. Okay, I played that one. All right,
love
so
Conkers.
Gauntlet Legends. And you're in luck because I got an N64, so I can do that.
Oh.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. All right. Well, that wraps up my questions. Chat, you guys got anything for me? Also, thank you guys for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Bone Jangles, Loki, Mike, thank you for the follows. Dollar Beals, hope you're doing well. Kevin X, hope you're doing well. Goro, hope you're doing well. Lady wants a Photoshop of that whole scenario Mike just listed as NBA.
Oh, man. I'll call up Christian. He can do something like that.
There you go. Oh.
Well, while we wait for some questions to come in, why don't we check in with you? You know, here we are.
Hello.
Division 2 raid has come out. Have you been playing the Division? I know you stream all the time, but the Division never seems to be your game. Are you playing the Division?
I am not. I did not play the first Division, and I am not playing this one. I don't know. Nothing's really grabbing me towards it. I've watched you play it once or twice, and it seems fine. I just don't know if it's my cup of tea. Yeah, I'm trying to... backlog is always a monster. And I'm like, oh, this game comes along. I'm just adding to the backlog. So, Flepke, hope you're doing. Mike, where did your love for Gatorade come from? Ooh, that's actually a good question.
My love for Gatorade came from all of the 90s commercials asking if it was in me. And, of course, when I'm drinking Gatorade, it was in me. But my true love for Gatorade did come from a summer basketball camp. So as many of you know, basketball, a huge passion of mine. I've been playing competitively since I was 5 years old. How do you play competitively at 5? You just want to win all the time, and that's what I want to do. But when we were in high school, we would go to the Colorado School of Mines, which was in Golden, Colorado, and our parents would leave me and about 5 friends there, and we'd participate in a week-long overnight basketball camp. And so at this basketball camp, of course, they have many Powerade, Gatorade, certain energy drinks, and all that to keep the kids hydrated and refueled. We fell in love with a flavor called Gatorade Fierce Melon. Now, Gatorade Fierce Melon, me and Will Lloyd we'd grab all of our $5 bills, all of our 10s, and we'd run down there the moment that the gym opened, and we'd buy as many Gatorade Fierce Melons from the camp counselors as we could. On day 4, we had cleared the stock out of Gatorade Fierce Melons to the point where they had to come in and bring another case. The guy said, oh, they're not cold. Do you guys still want them? We said, heck yeah. And we drank Gatorade Fierce Melon hot. And I'm talking sunshine summer day hot. And guess what? It was even better than it being cold. And that's when I fell in love with Gatorade.
Nice. Loki Mike asks, Mike, what are you playing tonight?
What is SnowBikeMike playing tonight? That's a great question. We will either grind in Division, because I'd like to play the Division 2 raid just a little bit before I go co-host Kind of Funny Games Daily on Friday with who? Fran Marabella, the looter shooter himself. So I'd like to have a little background knowledge, so possibly grinding on that. I've been kind of getting back into Sea of Thieves, and I'm really enjoying it, playing with a select couple of pirate friends and really having some fun with that, so that's always on the table. And you never can rule out Halo or any sort of games. I'm kind of play it by the numbers. I know you do a really good job that I'm always impressed with. It's kind of like a schedule and kind of putting out the games you're going to play, as opposed to me where I'll stare in front of the camera and just look at my audience and be like, what game are we going to play, y'all? What do you want me to play? And we just kind of go for it. But, Rage 2 has been phenomenal. I didn't really, it's tough because on PlayStation, I don't play that many games besides exclusives, and it's tough for me to commit to PlayStation. So Days Gone didn't grab me to the point where it's like Rage 2, where I'm thinking about it and I want to play it. So that's too unfortunate. But Rage 2 has been really good.
All right. From the press pool of Kevin Asax, what is your most anticipated game coming out in the future?
Most anticipated game coming out in the future would have to be Gears of War 5. I want to see how they continue the story, kind of putting Kate up in the forefront. It will be very cool to see Marcus Phoenix and the boys hand off the baton and kind of pass the torch to this new generation, this new era of Gears of War that's going to go with the coalition into the next generation of Xbox. Will it release this fall like it's been teased? Will it be pushed until the next Xbox? Is it going to be cross-generational? It's going to be very interesting, but I'm very excited for Gears of War. Can't wait to get my hands on that.
For myself, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy VII fan, but I'm glad that there is news about it, and it's a thing after 4 years of nothing. I want to go back and play the original. I bought it on PS3 4 years ago when they announced it first, because I played as a kid during the PS2 era, because somebody let me borrow it, and I was like, oh, these are polygons, it's all like crap, and I didn't give it a chance as a kid, but I'd like to go back and do that, and I'm happy for everybody, obviously, who loves 7, so I'm excited for that. MK11 was a big one for me. Obviously, that's out now, and I've been enjoying it for the most part. Obviously, we had that little tower trouble, but I'm excited where that game's going to go and the DLC with that. But I don't know, there's nothing that's like really calling out to me in my head right now I can think of title-wise coming out. I feel I've been that way for a couple months now. Like something will roll up, I'm like, oh, that's out, and then whoosh, snag it then. But I don't know, nothing's really standing out for me personally right now.
Excited for Predator 2020. Predator's gonna be really cool. That's an interesting game type.
That's the battle royale.
And then
right?
No, Predator will be the asymmetric one that is created by the Friday the 13th guys. So I anticipate it's probably going to be one Predator, maybe 4 to 5 Marine type characters. So that will be really interesting to see. Kind of pumped on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I've been really enjoying Wildlands, so that's exciting. And my big one that I'm actually kind of excited for was just at the tip of my tongue, and that was gone. But it was with something that had to do with Kevin. Oh, I'm really excited for Wolfenstein Young Bloods.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I am is I think Wolfenstein's done a really incredible job along with Doom and, of course, Rage here, where they've kind of had a resurgence. They've recreated these games kind of up to, today's generation. And Wolfenstein has been incredible. And I'm really excited about the idea of playing Wolfenstein co-op. I think that's going to be really fun. So I'm really excited to go in as BJ Blazkowicz's 2 daughters and just kind of wreck house in 1980s Paris in an alternate dimension world.
Nice. That's another game on my backlog. Let's see. Now I got to scroll because you guys are asking so many. Lady in Wonderland asks, do they still make Fierce Melon, excuse me.
They do, my love, and my local 7-Eleven that's a block away from my house sells it, so sometimes you'll see me drinking it. I do drink a lot of Riptide Rush, though, so if you usually see me drinking out of the Gatorade bottle, it will be Riptide Rush.
Let's see, Bone Jangles asks, you're an Xbox guy, Mike. Is there any franchise you would trade from Microsoft in exchange for an IP from another competitor? Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one right there. What would I trade? Well, man, the easy one would probably be The Last of Us, but that single-player narrative game is great. I look for more of, what's that multiplayer game that I'm going to play for years on end? What's that game that really speaks to me? And unfortunately, I probably don't have one off the top of my head. I guess we'll make it easy and say if I could trade one first-party game for another one, that would be pretty good. I would go with I'll give you, and I know this trade isn't that fair, but I'll give you Sunset Overdrive for Spider-Man. Let's trade it up.
Okay.
Okay, you say no to me. You know what? I'll give you a better deal. I'll give you a better deal. I'll give you Gears of War. You give me You give me The Last of Us.
Ooh,
what about that,
okay.
PlayStation people? I'll give you a big tier one. I can't give you Halo. I can't give you Halo, unfortunately. We got to keep that puppy there. I'll give you a multiplayer game, a multiplayer shooter, which I think PlayStation, when I think of PlayStation with the end of Killzone, truly doesn't have that competitive multiplayer online shooter like Microsoft has multiple of. So I'd give you Gears. It's got a story. It's got a lot of esports potential. It's got, the first-person shooter. Technically, it's not first-person, but you know what I mean. It's like, we'll trade. All
right, solid.
What would you trade for that? Because that's a great question. I'd have to really think of PlayStation's library. Not enough. Like I said, my genre is multiplayer shooters, kind of high action fun. There is no dedicated battle royale, so I can't go with that.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of PlayStation, none of those multiplayer shooters come out to me. I know we can bring up Horizon, Last of Us, we can bring up Days Gone, we can bring up any Sony Bend game, but they don't have that genre that I'm truly looking for. That is Halo or Gears of War that I love so much from Microsoft.
Okay. It's a weird one, but just thinking off the top of my head, fighting game to fighting game. Xbox has Killer Instinct that's exclusive.
Oh,
I would
like
switch
Killer
that
Instinct?
with Street Fighter 5.
Oh, okay.
So, that would be, I think that'd be more win for a PlayStation side. Like, Street Fighter 5 is good, and, I'm not leaning towards any particular party here, but I think that would be interesting to see how KI would do in the PlayStation Network compared to, how it's done on Xbox. It was big for a 3-year run or something like that. So, just interesting to see, how the PlayStation audience would take
That's
that,
a great question.
So
that's cool. I like that a lot. And I like that you brought in the fighting game one.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of that. I try to think of my friend, Sad Boy Sean, who I always bring up. He's a big PlayStation guy. And I think of Sean, he plays so many of the Souls games, which has become kind of third party, except for Bloodborne. So that's not really that big of a trade-off for me. But he plays a lot of these anime titles, kind of these mech robot titles. And I kind of think to myself, do I like any of those? Is God Eater one of those games that I want on my Xbox? Is it, whatever? And man, it's tough. I just don't have any that pop out to me that I would trade for.
Is Sekiro on Xbox?
Sekiro is on Xbox,
is
so that was a big one for me, is right.
Okay, and then PUBG came out on PS4, correct?
PUBG is now officially on PlayStation 4, so can't really trade for that one. But I do love PUBG. Last year, I put in 472 hours on PUBG over the year with all my friends. And, no matter how wonky or janky that game is or how poorly it runs on console, it is so much fun. And like we talked about, that's why I love the Battle Royale genre. It's just so unique and different every single time. You can drop one way. You can go into the mid-game doing something different. Maybe you want to huck double backflips on a motorcycle in a shooter game. I don't know. It's your prerogative,
X Games. Those were the first streams I remember watching. Oh,
exactly. You know what else I'd trade really quick before we move on? I would, I really love the Kinects, and I have some great photos of me on the day that the Kinect officially died, but I'll trade you the Kinect for the PlayStation VR.
Wow, okay.
Little flip-floppy right there. I mean, you almost need the Kinect to do VR, but, you know what I'm talking about. I'll give you the Kinect in all of its functionalities for the PlayStation VR in an Xbox setting.
Interesting. Okay. All right, and then last question from our lovely audience. Lady in Wonderland asks, when are we going to get one of those sweet SnowBikeMike / Enigma crossover streams?
That's a great question. Enigma is more of a PlayStation guy, I believe. So what Enigma needs to do,
I got my
come on over to the dark side, the X side. And he comes over and plays with me. I will play any games because there's one thing I do love is playing with Enigma. I love playing with fellow best friends and kind of, crossing the audiences. I really wish that Twitch had the resources and the time to give all affiliates and beyond the chance to, squad stream or whatever they want to call that. Because I think limiting it to partners, as smart as it is, of course, you got to get to that partnership level, which is a small percentage. Probably takes less bandwidth from them on the back end. But I think it really is a cool way to share the audience, share the growth, and, put people like Enigma and me onto other fans, other viewers, other channels. I think that's a big one. When you talk about growth in Twitch, in social media, whatever you really want to pursue is that networking. And so when you can get to another person's stream, other podcasts, whatever it may be, it's a lot of fun. And I really wish that we could have a better squad stream than a multi-Twitch link that doesn't work that well, where Enigma could be face-to-face. He's talking with everybody, the same people I'm talking with. But one day soon, we'll make that happen. Enigma just got to stop playing all the single-player games and Apex Legends, unfortunately, doesn't work for me, so I can't play that anymore.
Yes, sir. I got the Xbox. I hear you want to play Overwatch. Or at least you messaged that to me like a month ago.
Overwatch is right. Overwatch or Halo.
Okay.
Overwatch or Halo.
Now, little sneak peek behind the curtain. I have Halo 5 and it's installed. I've had it for almost a year and a half and have never played it. So...
Well, it sounds like
there you go.
Lady in Wonderland sounds like the game has been chosen, and all we have to do at a time.
So we'll figure that out. All right, that's going to wrap up this episode of the podcast. Remember, this has been the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 45. My name is Brett, a.k.a. Enigma911, and today I was joined by Mike, a.k.a. SnowBikeMike. Mike, thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was truly an honor and an awesome situation. I love being with you. I love talking with you. And to be on your podcast means a lot to me. Our friendship means a lot to me. And it was really cool to sit down, chat with you. You had some great topics, some great rapid fire questions. I got to find a TV show or podcast where people can just ask me rapid fire questions. I just want people to ask me questions all day long. I like that a lot.
There you go. Well, thank you, sir. Hopefully we can get you back on again. Remember, guys, you can catch the podcast live every first and third Saturday of the month over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch it live, that's okay. You can go over to youtube.com the next week and search Enigma9011 where it's broken out topic by topic and also put as one big video at the end of the week for your amusement. If you guys have any topics for us that you'd like us to talk about, you can either put it in the comment section down below, or you can join us on Discord. There is a tab specifically for that. You can put those in there and we'll be happy to talk about those. And then last but not least, remember, we are brought to you guys by the merch store. You can get your sweet Enigma 9011 swag like Mike is wearing today. We got the OG t-shirt design along with the brand new Riddler design shirt. There might also be a squad shirt coming soon. So you can check that out, rep the brand, support us. That'd be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want your SnowBikeMike merch, just like those pugs you just saw, you can get some dope SnowBikeMike t-shirts. You got the mount design along with the pug design now that you can grab over there for him and support him. That would be greatly appreciated as well. Mike, is there anything else that you would like to plug for yourself real quick before we wrap up today?
I have nothing ever to plug besides make sure to hit the follow button at the top of your screen right now for twitch.tv/Enigma9011. Go get the t-shirt. I really love the design. I know you guys out there think it's really cool. And the Riddler design with the green and purple is actually really, really dope. So please go check out that merch. If it wasn't for Enigma, I, A, probably wouldn't stream as much, and B, I would never know about a merch store. So I owe a lot to him.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight, and we will catch you guys later. Take care.